Welcome, everybody. This is KBM, your host of This is Africa. Today is a pre recorded video, Monday, 30 May 2022. And I got a very special guest all the way from Zambia here with us today. As you can see on the screen, he is Traveltainment. And I'm going to be just be having a regular discussion with the gentleman, asking some questions about him and what he does. And without further ado, Traveltainment, thank you for being on This is Africa.
Well, I'm honored so much. This is Africa. How are you doing yourself?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. It's a pleasure. I've been waiting to have this interview with you and this discussion, rather. I would like to have it as a discussion for quite a while now. And so thank you for being here. I really do appreciate that.
I'm really, the pleasure is all mine.
Okay, so go ahead and just give us a brief description about, where you're from, who you are, and what it is that you like to do outside of YouTube.
Wow. Okay, nice one. Um, of course, like my channel name is Traveltainment. I love traveling. I love telling stories about Africa, particularly my country where I live. So I basically you do I love YouTube, but I know we'll enter so much into it. But before I tell you about more about YouTube, about myself, so outside YouTube, let me talk of family. I have a wife with a lovely daughter. Yeah, I love farming. I also I also love trading. I also love business. Yes.
And what type of business do you do?
Good. So my type of business is I sell motorbikes
Okay.
and the vehicle spares. That is my sort of business.
Okay.
If you
And, oh,
if you
go
have
ahead.
noticed, like last year, it was a deliberate thing. I would like I told myself that I'll make all my videos wearing a red t-shirt. So all my red t-shirts would have a brand of a motorbike that I sell or I supply spare parts.
Okay, and are you employed somewhere, or is that your business?
That is purely my own. I'm not employed somewhere anywhere else.
Okay, and that's out of Lusaka.
Yes, yes. Actually, outside Lusaka, of course, not Lusaka, because although I watch a lot, I've never been to Kenya except at the airport several times at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Maybe I'm in transit going to Tanzania or going to Dubai where I get these things. But I have never, yeah. But otherwise, I do that. That is for myself. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're traveling. Do you ever have any of those shipped in without you having to travel?
Come again?
Do you ever have any of those bikes and those parts shipped in without having to go outside the country and travel?
Yes, yes. In fact, the pandemic has it's like, but the pandemic is the one which has like made everything to like become a little bit, not to depend on traveling. So a lot, we have not had to travel anymore because we already have established contacts and so forth. Then the other thing which has slowed down, which I used to do, I don't know. People have really slowed down a lot. Is also cars because Zambia is a landlocked country. We don't have a sea coast, so our vehicles, the nearest country where we receive them is, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. So we pick them there. Oh yeah. Then I'd forgotten the point about motorbikes. Lusaka, for example, I see Kenya, Tanzania, and the other countries in Africa, they use a lot of motorbikes. But in Zambia, places like Lusaka is not allowed to use a motorbike. So
And
motorbikes in Zambia are specifically for rural places like villages, not in the
okay,
city. You can't do a motorbike. It's not allowed.
Okay, that's just basically to break down on the congestion.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, that makes sense. I think I was watching a video like earlier this year. I think Zimbabwe in the main city there. I think they do the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so outside of that, I mean, like, what is your basic hobbies? I mean, what makes Traveltainment want to do things for himself for his own entertainment? Like, we really want to get to know you because we see a lot of you on YouTube. You're very impressionable. You got a unique intro that is really, I think it really gets people to really want to open up to you and watch your videos.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel.
What is it that you
Wow.
like to do on your own time that just makes you want to be who you are outside of YouTube?
Wow. I think outside YouTube, I enjoy, I don't know whether it is my background, I think my upbringing, I just love, for example, I love people. And not only that, it really takes a long time for me, for example, to take offense. I really love people. I really love to be around people, and not just loving people. I love to respect people because that was my upbringing. So even when somebody offends me, I will try by all means to avoid it or to run away from it. Otherwise, that is just what I love. And of course, for example, one of my joy apart from my wife is my daughter. Otherwise, that is the little personality. And also, I'm a Christian, so I'm a church guy.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
if I had to hazard a guess, you probably left one thing out. I think you love to cook, don't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Great one. Yes, 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 yes. I forgot that one. Cooking is something that I really love to do, and wives love such men. So sometimes I love to surprise my wife to say, okay, an African culture, it is like the women who mostly would do, but I would tell my wife several times, okay, today let me handle this. I've got a special recipe. I've got this. Yes, cooking. I really love to cook.
Right on. I think I might have to pay you for some private online courses because I think the only thing I can prepare for my wife is sliced bread. I don't know how to cook. That's about it.
Really? Okay.
Well, okay, I could boil anything, but in Kenya, boiling doesn't work. So, I got if you're gonna be in Kenya, you got to cook the Kenyan way. So,
And also because anyway, that's why you are KBM,
exactly, Kenyan by marriage. So,
Yes,
okay, so what I would like to know, like seriously, like I've watched a lot of Zambia videos. I even met somebody from Zambia. I can't think of his name right off the tip of my head, but he was in Russia for a while. Got married to a Russian lady. He taught English to the Russians while he was going to school there. And I just realized not too long ago he's back. I'm gonna try to get a hold of him, but he kind of opened my eyes a little bit to Zambia in the very beginning, probably around 2014, I would say, right?
yeah,
So since then, I've seen a lot of things. One thing I'd like to bring up because it was very interesting with your country. I know if somebody moves to your country, they cannot actually apply to be, or they cannot actually campaign to be president of Zambia. And I think you have to be either 2 or 3 generations move from another country before that's legal. However, one of those earlier generations, you could become an acting vice president. And I can't remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
gentleman's name. There's an older Mzungu.
Guy
Um,
Scott. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, Guy Scott. Okay. If I can remember, the president died that he was under and he took over temporarily. Okay. Okay, so what was interesting, and I don't know if you saw outside of Zambia, but a lot of people are angry, and especially in America, you have a lot of people saying that Mzungus are taking back over. They took over Zambia again. I mean, please tell us exactly what his role was. And I know for a fact he followed the laws of Zambia. Please tell us about Guy Scott.
okay, great. And because I love a little bit about politics, uh, But the thing is that, Guy Scott was a great guy. He's a great guy. He's still around. And I remember, like 2 weeks ago, I went to visit a certain grave site, a cemetery where I found his father is buried. I even
Okay.
did a video about it. Okay.
Okay.
So his dad is basically the one who came from outside. He was a Mzungu, you know. He came to settle in Zambia. After independence, Guy Scott was born in Zambia. So, according to the Zambian constitution, do you know that that guy, the former president who died that was in 2011, the one who took over power in 2011 was called Michael Sata.
Yes.
So Michael Sata and Guy Scott, Michael Sata was black Zambian. Guy Scott became a white Zambian because the guy was Zambia. He was born here. So he grew up here. If this Muzungu is just because of his skin tone, if the guy was to go back to England or he would literally be lost because everything about him, it was just the skin. Everything about him is Zambian.
Right.
So this guy, he, because due to his interest, so he was friends with Michael Sata. And then when Sata was aspiring to become president, this guy joined forces with him. They played together outside politics. They teamed up together. They worked so hard. And this Sata loved how he worked. And then because Guy Scott, we so much got used to him. It was just the skin, but we do see him like he's just an ordinary Zambian. So Zambians were so excited when Sata became president. He chose him as his vice president. So
Right.
according to the constitution of Zambia, it only allowed him to say if you are a typical Muzungu, the Zambian constitution only allowed him to like a Muzungu because he was not his parents, he was a second generation. So
Right.
meaning that his children are the ones who can aspire to become president in
Right.
Zambia.
So it's
Him
third
could only,
generation.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
him could only go as far as the vice president. So what happened is when President Sata died, the constitution allowed him to only act as president until the country elects another president.
Right.
So
And he handed over power the way he was supposed to. Because
yes,
I
so
think
he was
he can
acting
only be
president.
correct
Mhm.
me if I'm wrong. He can only be by law acting president 90 days before he had to turn it over, right?
Exactly. three
Okay.
months he is supposed to act as president. Yes, at that time we would even address him as president. I remember during his time, he would take a lot of roles as president. For example, there were people he felt should be pardoned from prison. He had that power because he was acting president. He was even pardoning some inmates whom he felt were unjustly jailed. He would even pardon them during the 3 months. Then he had to oversee an election. So Zambians had to sit to elect another president. Although the constitution, the same one like the way it is now, if the president is to die now, there would not be any elections. If the running mate, who is the vice president, is a Zambian, or if it is a Muzungu, a third generation Muzungu, he will qualify to automatically be a running, to automatically become president. Like the way, I don't know which other country did I hear about that in Africa. Tanzania, when Magufuli died, the vice president automatically became the president, that woman. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you set the record straight. I really haven't thought about that situation in probably 3 or 4 years, but now that you're on this interview with me, it just came up, and I was like, hey, this would be a great time to get a clear story from a
Yeah.
Zambian themselves instead of just watching the news. Um, Okay, so I think it was yesterday when you had your live stream. I think you said in the live stream you have not visited Zambia unless you visited Victoria Falls. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes, correct. You're correct.
Okay, why is that? Why do you
So
have to go
there
to
is,
Victoria Falls?
yes. So for example, when you come to Zambia, it's like yes, you come to Lusaka, but to really feel you have really been to Zambia, it's like you must visit the falls, especially when it's at peak. So the peak times for the falls is between April, May, June, July. That is when the falls is really, really at peak. So when you come to Zambia, Zambia is popular because of this one of the seven natural wonders of the world. So even the same day I arrived, are you aware that when I arrived, I felt compelled. Same day I went to the falls to go and watch the falls, of course. So that's why we advise, like a visitor, you come to Zambia, we say, please go to the falls, go and see. It is beyond. When they say it is one of the seven wonders, I know there are many falls around the world, but this one we have the most Otunya, the one we call most Otunya. Okay, the Muzungu insisted that we should call it Victoria Falls after the Queen of England.
Right. Kind of like Lake Victoria.
Sorry?
Kind of like Lake
Oh,
Victoria.
Even like Victoria. You are right. You are right. Like Victoria. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So,
So hopefully, if somebody comes to Zambia, they come on during those peak months. But let's say somebody comes a different part of the year where you don't even see any water. I mean, what other places that would be, in your opinion, a great place to visit outside of the falls?
outside of the falls, there are still great places. Great. Of course, even when it is dry, the falls is still great. There is what they call the devil's pool. It
Hmm.
is at the falls on top. Now you can even walk right there. Apart from that, we have very beautiful. There is a park. In fact, here, this park, you would be surprised. In Zambia, it is the second smallest. We have 20 national parks.
Hmm.
This is the second smallest, but you will see great animals like the hippos, elephants, giraffes, not to mention of these small ones like impalas, lechwe, puku. We don't even mention that. So those are some. There is great wildlife within the, you know, outside the Victoria Falls. So you
Okay.
can see them. By the way, before I forget, you know that when I was coming for one of the things I did when I was rushing here, I just did my dream package, which I really wanted to do Wallace in Livingston. I'm sure I'll edit it in a few days' time, it will be ready. After I went to the falls the first day to watch it physically, down, today I went by helicopter now. I flew in the air to view the falls by air.
All right. I remember you saying that yesterday. So you did that. You did that today.
I did that today. It was spectacular. You can't afford to miss that video. And also, so apart from the falls, the same helicopter would go in the park because the falls is near where it is in the park itself, the Mosotunya National Park.
Okay.
So in the same park, we are even able to see animals, impalas, would see zebras, would see hippos, elephants, all that. And the part of that is also in my footage when I was in there and I was happy. The helicopter, I told them, if you are not giving me the front seat, I'm not you. I'm not. I'm not using this chopper. So unless give me a front seat. So they made sure that they gave me a front seat. So I was next to the pilot.
Right on.
So,
I'm gonna look forward to that video for sure. When are you gonna release that video?
and then apart from the falls, there is the national park. We
Hmm.
also have what they call the Mukuni Big Five. The
Okay.
Mkuni Big Five, here is a situation where people talk about the lions, in Africa or what. Now you have a park where there are animals, where you are like you go there, they will take you in a class, just a few, they will like give you a briefing how to interact with a lion. I'm not talking of maybe it's a pet or what. I'm talking about a real lion, a male lion. They
Right.
they train you, give you a briefing how to handle a lion. These guys can boast to say, even if you threw me in a jungle of lion, I would still escape and hate, because they know the language of a lion. So even if they were inside, so they'll brief you to like and give you like maybe 5 lions. They'll say interact with them, start touching them,
Oh wow.
walk with them. Yes, you walk
Well,
with them. You can even hold the tail. But these are real lion. So it's an interesting thing. Although I haven't done it this time because I wanted to do it, but I did it when my channel was still small. But this time around, it's not on my budget because I've not budgeted for it. But if I had the resources, or maybe my people, if they hear, maybe they'll send me. I'll rush back to go and do it.
okay. Yeah,
So,
I would like to see you do that because I actually have a friend who
uh,
lives out here in the part of the U.S. where I'm at, in the next state. He lives in Seattle. I live in the Portland, Oregon area. He
wow.
went back to Gambia after 20 years of not being there, and he walked with the lions, much like what you just said. So they got something like that in the Gambia,
Yeah.
and
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
he gave me the clip. I'm going to use it in one of my videos. I'm not sure which video yet, but I'm definitely going to use it because it was definitely iconic, and
Uh-huh.
it was kind of breathtaking to look at. So I would like to see you do that over there. Just make sure that you're able to come back and upload that video. We want to make sure that you come back. So you're not.
Yes, yes. It's a very it's a
Okay.
very great experience, and you'd be surprised. Although I've not just budgeted for it, I don't have money. But if my community is able to like send me some cash, and it costs $30 to do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So for
Um,
$30, you have an interaction with the real lions. So there are also other activities. There are also other animals where they make you climb. You jump on an elephant like a horse, you know.
wow. Okay.
So the same elephants, you can do that. Apart from all that, when they falls during the dry season, when the water is less violent, because this time around, no wonder it is called the Mosotunya, the smoke that thunders. The water is really violent. So during the dry season, the water comes down. So there is also kayaking, or there's what they call white water rafting. I don't know who named it white water rafting.
Well, yeah, we got something like that in the state of Colorado during the Colorado River. It's
Wow,
known for
yeah,
its whitewater rapids, and a lot of people do that type of rafting there. But yeah,
yeah,
that's all pretty much all over the world now. They use that term because it's a popular
yeah.
activity. But
So,
real quick, I wanted to get back. Just a quick question about how long is it going to be for you to upload that chopper video?
or the chopper video, maybe 3 days from now.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
three
gonna be
days
uploaded
from now,
before
the
this
chopper
goes.
video will be ready over the falls. And also,
Okay.
in addition to these falls, did you know that I don't know any other country? Are you aware that Zambia, apart from the falls, the Victoria Falls, which is like the biggest or the most wondrous one in the world, Zambia has got more than 100 waterfalls. Are you aware? Did you know about that?
Okay, well, I know the Kumba guy had a video, and I think
Oh, okay, really?
it was like
Yeah.
10 or 11 smaller waterfalls in Zambia, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot of waterfalls." But you said 100?
Yes, not 10. Those are other small, they are pretty, a lot of them, a lot of them. In
You
fact, when I was flying the chopper, the pilot, I remember we were chatting
uh-huh.
when he was flying the chopper, he was telling me, are you aware that there is another force being made in the next 6 years? They are saying it might be as big as the same Victoria Falls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was showing me that there is some point where the land is cracking or something like that. It is
Hmm.
expected to be a very big falls. Yeah.
Well, when that does happen, I would imagine you're going to be right front and center and showing us exactly what it looks like. So,
Yes, 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 yes.
okay. So, now let's talk a little bit about YouTube. Like, what got you? First of all, before we go, what started you on YouTube? How did you come up with the name Traveltainment? Where did that come from?
Good, 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 good. I like that. So, what came about with my name, the name Traveltainment, was I was thinking about one of the things, for example, I love to travel a lot. So, like my first experience when I went to Dubai to do business, I discovered that I loved traveling. I go to Tanzania to pick, I'd bought a car to pick it up from Tanzania. I would enjoy. Anytime I change a place, I would enjoy. Then now it comes back to why I how I started YouTube. So I thought, why don't I, since I love to travel and I would love to make videos about traveling. So I said, can I be travel? So I said, the same way we say entertainment, when you want like to be entertained. So I said, me, I'll be traveling. How can I combine traveling and entertainment? So I said, wow, I'll be called the travel, then entertainment. So let it be Traveltainment. That is how it came about, the name. I'd never heard it from anywhere. I just made it like this: travel and entertainment, Traveltainment.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, because it's hard to come up with a name, and a name that like that, just putting two words together is it's hard to do in most cases for a lot of people. And I understand sometimes
Wow,
you come
wow.
up, you're writing down names on a piece of paper, and you're like, somebody else has already got that one, or it doesn't sound as good as I thought it did. But yours, it really sticks. So a lot of people are attracted to that name. Now, I like to know, like seriously, what really got you started on YouTube? Why did you start YouTube?
Good. A few things. A few things. Number one was, like I said, number one, when I saw a few things about my country. For example, every time I came to the falls, by the way, I'm professionally trained. I do construction, building. If you have noticed, when I'm in Lusaka, or if I go to a place, I will attempt to show places, to show the kind of housing they make, because building houses is what I trained for in college. So that is my specialty. Maybe that's why, to my traveling aspect, for example, even in Livingstone won't be complete without talking about some residential areas or how much land you can buy. In Lusaka, have you watched any of my videos where I'm showcasing a place or some houses?
Yes, yes, I have.
Yes. So that is also what I love to do, because that is what I professionally trained. I used to do a lot of that construction, but I told myself I'll pause for now. When YouTube sets me to a certain level, for example, when I reach 100,000 subscribers, then I'm going to bring back my construction, combine it with my real estate dream. So then I'll enter real estate big time. I'll start building again. And mostly I want to concentrate building my own instead of just being a contractor. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, okay. So now, not too long ago, last year, you had a visitor from Kenya, Dee Mwango. Tell us, how did you meet Dee Mwango, and how was the experience like collabing with Dee Mwango?
Wow, wow, wow. That is another thing which really, it was another exciting moment for me. So when Dee Mwango came to Zambia, I was shocked because Dee Mwango didn't know me, but I knew her because, of course, because of her. She's a, what can I say? She's a bigger YouTuber than me. So when she came to Zambia, I just noticed In fact, it was through my comments. One of my videos, which I do every day, I was told, uh, are you aware Dee Mwango has entered your country? As we are talking, Dee Mwango is in Lusaka. I said, really? I watch a lot of Dee Mwango videos. I follow her channel. So what happened is that I reached out to her on her Instagram. So
Right.
I reached out to her on, I DM'd her that I introduced myself and if she would love to meet me. And it took like within 24 hours, the following day, that is when she replied. She said, wow, I sat down to watch your channel. I love your kind of energy because it is similar to my energy. I would definitely would love to collaborate with you. So that is how I had to, we contacted each other. That's how we actually met. And she loved the vibe of Lusaka because I was checking. For example, she said when we went around the city, did a few videos together, she loved the Lusaka kind of atmosphere. And she said, you know what? Lusaka seems to be there's a kind of peace I love on the street, real congested street where I took her. She said, my favorite thing about her was, she said, I want to try and to be a hawker. So
Yeah,
to make
I
a
think I
video
saw
as a
that.
hawker. Did you watch any of that video?
Was she hawking the water?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, I saw that.
So there is this particular sachet water which we sell, which is here in Zambia, whereby if you can't afford, for example, there is this water which we buy for like 25 cents. This is how many liters? Okay, this is 1 liter. Like there is this water is 1 liter. Uh, Now this one costs like 25 cents. The 1 liter, the one we have here in Zambia. Now there's a sachet one, half a liter, where it is so cheap, whereby some people. So Dee Mwango thought, why don't we go? Do you know where they order this water? I said, yes. She said, I want to do that, and you be my camera person. She inspired me a lot of things because I saw her using this type of camera. I know my lighting, if I was at home,
Yeah,
lighting would have been
that's that
better.
small 4K Sony camera.
Yes, a smaller Sony 4K camera. This is
And
where I got the inspiration and told my audience because I couldn't afford it. So I said, guys, I need a type of camera. Then one of my audience, I specified what I needed and they got me this one. So now using this camera, I became her camera person. So we went, got the water, and I was worried for her. She just asked me, I just need 2 words, local language. How do you call water and amount? So I'll be walking on my head, carry the water. She carried like maybe 50 to 100 sachets of water. And then she went direct on the busiest street in Lusaka. And
yeah,
she
yeah,
was like, one kwacha manzi, one kwacha manzi, one kwacha. She kept on going. And then because this camera, you can use it almost discreet. When you hold it somehow, I can be following her, and then it has got a good stabilizer. It is more stable than using a phone.
right.
So how to stand at some distance reasonably, it is able to pick, and that is how she did the whole thing. And to me, it was fantastic because I asked her, have you tried to do the whole video anywhere? She said she only tried it in Uganda. In many countries, she wouldn't dare do it.
Right. I can understand that. She definitely has some experience, and she also was very impressional on some friends over in Namibia. So the people she collabed with over there are friends of mine. So I'm glad you got the same experience, and the videos came out very well. They're very entertaining, and I recommend anybody watching this and hearing this is to go over to Traveltainment as well as Dee Mwango and check out her Zambia videos, his Zambia videos with Dee Mwango.
Thank you.
They're pretty much precious, to be honest with you. Now,
Yeah.
so I just want to just shout you out for a moment here. So everybody, as you can see on the screen, this is Traveltainment's WhatsApp phone number. on the left, and on the right, if you want to support him, MTM money, that's his different number. So it's only the between the sevens and the sixes after the nine. That's the difference. So it's pretty easy to distinguish between the two. And so for some people coming from the U.S. And you're not familiar with mobile money like it is in Africa, because that's actually where it started. You can use Western Union, MoneyGram. There's a bunch of services like World Remit and stuff like that. When you put in that number in the country of Zambia with his information, it's going to have a choice of maybe either Airtel, which is a different company, or MTN. Just use MTM with that number, and then he'll be able to get the funds that you send him for future projects.
Thank you. Thank you
I'm
so
also,
much.
you're welcome. And I'm also, everybody, I'm going to put his information down in the description box so you can get his YouTube channel. You got an Instagram, correct?
Yes, yes, yes. It is the same
Okay.
one. Traveltainment vlogs.
Okay. So everybody, I'm going to put all that information down, and that way you can get a hold of him directly, and definitely subscribe to him, because his entertainment is truly Traveltainment. Trust me, it's great. If you haven't seen him before, go watch him. And what's that one saying in almost all your videos? What do you like to say in the beginning?
I like saying, "What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel."
You're right, exactly. So you'll get used to that. One more thing before we close out, we're almost done here. What is it? But before I do that, real quick, everybody who's been having trouble finding my channel, This is Africa, because you see a lot of This is Africa channels out there, you could type in the address bar. You don't have to put the W's, just put thisisafrica.africa. It would take you directly to my YouTube channel, thisisafrica.africa, just like you see on the screen. Please subscribe to Traveltainment. So I got one more question for you. Nothing to do with YouTube or anything. What do you do in Lusaka? Like, what are primarily like one or two things, like, because it's a big city, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of big cities, people come to and they really don't know what to do. What would you recommend for people if they're stuck in Lusaka? What can they do for entertainment?
For entertainment, for example, I hear of something, people say, like in Kenya, there is the popular thing, like people say, Kenya is the only country, is it in Africa, which has got a park in the city,
A national park, yes.
a national park. Lusaka too has a national park called Lusaka National Park. So right in Lusaka, there is a national park. So
Okay, you know what you need to do, right? You need to make
yes,
a
yes.
video of that, because I never
So
heard of that before. All right.
there is Lusaka National Park. It is the small. Remember, here in Livingstone, we have the Mosotunya National Park, which is the second smallest, but with a lot of animals. Then we have the Lusaka National Park, which is the smallest. It is the 20th. Zambia has 20 national parks. So this park here in Livingstone and the one in Lusaka are the smallest. Such that last week there was even a story. It was not just a story, it was reality. There's one lion which really strayed and went in the community, and they had to shoot it because it really strayed. It just went direct in the community where people are living.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's happened
So
in
apart
Nairobi
from
before.
parks, there are also what I would call individuals who own their own parks. There is what is called Chaminuka Lodge. There is there are plenty of personal parks where people have made their own, like it's just like a ranch where there are animals, plenty of them. So there are also many such things within Lusaka. So those are some of the few things. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think also, apart from that, but apart from spending money, what I notice is Zambians love shopping malls a lot.
Right, right. That's what Zambia is well known for. Is like you got 30 plus malls or something like that in the city.
Yes, yes. There are more than 30 shopping malls. So maybe that's why, that's also one of the things. They can go to shopping malls, they can go to parks, they are resorts, a lot of resorts within or around Lusaka, where people can they can also go for boat cruising, which is like 15 kilometers away from Lusaka, or 15 to 20. They'll be in a Kafue River. There is a river. They can go for a boat cruise. Yes. So Zambia is surrounded with a lot of water. No wonder one of the things that, are you aware, did you know that from between Kenya coming down up to South Africa, Zambia has got more water than any other country? So, like, for example, because there's a lot of farming activity, so even when you drill a borehole, water is almost everywhere. For example, at my house, in back in Lusaka, we don't use the water utility company. I used to have a lot of issues, the water company. So I noticed it is sometimes you have water, sometimes you don't have water. So I decided to have my own borehole. So I have my own borehole. So we have water 24/7. So that's one of the things. They can go for a boat cruise, go to some resorts. Yes.
That's good to know. Because I still think that, just in my opinion, even till this day, Lusaka is very well, how to say it, underreported with vloggers. You know what I
We
mean?
think,
It's not being reported enough on what's available to do in
oh,
Lusaka.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
S-
that is what we really need. For example, I think that is what I need to concentrate in. Instead of just showing places, I think I also get down to show
mhm.
more places, what people can do, when they have nothing to do, the things which can keep them busy. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Well,
and then there's also a hot spring in Lusaka, although it is
really,
slightly Lusaka, yes. There's a natural hot spring. There's a stream which produces hot water. Yeah.
is it the type of hot spring that is cool enough to get in, or it's only just to look at? It's too hot to get into.
You can only get in after a few meters, or maybe after 2 kilometers, when the water gets a little bit warm, because where it starts from, it is extremely hot. You can literally cook like eggs. You can put your eggs there, they'll cook. You just remove them and eat. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay.
did that experiment. Yes.
Yeah. There's something like that in Uganda too. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
It's Arena TL. I'm sure you know Arena TL.
Yes,
So it
yes,
was,
yes.
yeah, it was one of her videos. So if I can find that, I'll send it to you. But
Please do.
I
Yes.
will. Traveltainment, thank you very much for being here today. So everybody, we're going to wrap this up. And once again, all his information is going to be down in the description box. Again, these are his numbers, his WhatsApp to get in direct contact if you want to send him a donation so he can continue to make videos in areas of Zambia, right there on the number on the right. And as well, again, this is my URL. This is Africa. If you want to find the YouTube channel, just off a Google type search, just type in that in the address bar and you should be good to go. So other than that, this is a wrap. Again, this is KBM, your host of This is Africa, and we're out.
Thank you. Mm.